What's up everyone, it's Charles here with Rocket Punch Army to do a review of the Nagai Museum exclusive Great Mazinger Jumbo Machineder color. As you can see, because it's an exclusive, it comes in this little cardboard box. But inside you get this nice colorful box, pretty much standard fare for Super Robot Chogokin, except it shows off pictures of the Great Mazinger, which in this case it's pretty much the same as the original except in Machineder colors, and you can see the little Machineder here, which is otherwise known as Shogun warriors here in the US. And inside that box you get a nice tray here full of a bunch of goodies. We obviously have Great Mazinger here. We have the Scramble Dash, the little vertical wing, his sword, and a bunch of assorted hands, a flight unit down here. Right over here is the Brain Condor. Then we get these alternate forearms here for the drill pressure punch. First thing we want to do is attach the Brain Condor. As you can see, it's a very tiny little thing. You don't want to lose it. So you're going to pop it in there before you do anything. And it doesn't feel like it really tabs in there that securely. I mean, you can see it doesn't fall out, but I would just be careful when handling them. Now, as you can see, guys, the figure is absolutely magnificent. The paint job is superb. The temple prints are really sharp. I mean, this is really good for an entry-level Chogokin. Even though it is like an entry-level, it's not necessarily just to start you off in Chogokin. It's just a cheaper alternative, but this is really meant for any collector, honestly. I mean, this guy does a really good job of fitting in with all your other super robots. Now, super robot Chogokins are known for their excellent articulation, so it's exactly what we're going to check out right now. We have the head separate from the neck here. We also have the actual neck that moves back and forth side to side. Head can spin around if you really needed to. If we move to the shoulders here, they have this type of movement back and forth. We also have the shoulders that swivel out. Elbows swivel here. Also the elbows themselves, which have a very nice soft ratcheting action. You also have the fist here on a ball joint. You have the ab crunch here. If you wanted a little bit more, you can actually pull it out twice, and you can see the Brain Condor did pop out at that moment. That gives you a little more action going on right there, and obviously they spin. Just being a little careful because I don't want to mess up that nice goldish metallic paint there. We also have the hips here, which go in and out. They kind of pivot. If you bring one down, the other one kind of goes up. You can kind of level them out there. You also have this little spin here. Just be careful with these little spikes on the side of the thighs so they don't hit the actual plastic. It'd be a real shame to scuff this guy up. If we move down to the knees, you'll see it's got these little panels here. You can kind of see them in the light there. They do kind of push in once the thigh pushes up against the back of the leg, which is a really neat feature on a lower priced Chogokin. And listen to those amazing ratchets there. We move down to the foot here. We have the foot on the ball joint, which gives you good range of motion. Now, as beautiful as this figure is, one of the biggest complaints about these guys is the shrunken head. I know the DX Chogokin that's coming out, in my opinion, has one of the best proportioned heads. I just wish they would do something. Maybe even they should have done something with this exclusive, just make it a little bit bigger, but it is what it is. We are going to check out the Scramble Dash. So here's the Scramble Dash. It's one of those things they probably could have just left in the molded plastic color, but they put a nice coat of a red metallic, which is kind of hard to capture on camera, but you'll see how nice that paint job is. That's actually paint and not just molded plastic. You do have to attach the vertical wing here, so we'll go ahead and do that. Once you have that wing on, you can go ahead and pop it right back here. It's got a little slot that's shaped just like that part right there. Push it right in. In this case, both the vertical wing and the Brain Condor popped out. Alright, so let's get them up here so we can take a look. Oh man, it just looks really nice with the Scramble Dash. I'm glad they didn't actually shrink it just to make him smaller. I think the Scramble Dash looks really good on him. The colors just pop on this figure. I'm going to do a comparison with the regular version, and this allows you to really get a feel for what they've done here. As nice as the regular colors are, I really do think this guy has much bigger shelf presence. And if you're not that type of collector that has to have the exact like anime colors, you should be happy with this, especially if you grew up with Shogun Warriors or your Jumbo Machineders. I wish I had the Mazinger special effects weapon set, whatever, so I can actually show you the whole atomic punch feature, which would just be this stuck to an effects piece, as I'm sure you've seen in other reviews. But we're going to go ahead and change it for this, the drill pressure punch. All you need is the actual fist here, and pop it onto the ball joint here. And you just have to be careful putting this in. These spikes tend to want to rip a hole open in your hand. Once you got that popped in, you can go ahead, put it back. I'm not going to do both, but you get the idea. You put this on. You can actually have it this way. You can have one with the effects piece. Whatever you want to do, however you want to display it. Now the set also comes with alternate hands. We have the relaxed hand here. We also have the pointed finger here. I believe that's for the thunder break. And the weapon holding hand. And it's also got this one, which if you're wondering what it is, it's actually to do a handshake with Mazinger's hand. Now, this Mazinger hand comes with the set. It's also got the Mazinger Blade here. So the swords actually come out of these flanged pieces here. Obviously, this is not going to recreate that at such a small scale. And it's also got these little fins here for the flight unit, which we'll check out in just a moment. We're just going to put his forearm back with the fist. Pop it back on here. And then rotate the figure around. There's little panels here on the leg. Kind of almost want to push on the top of the panel and it kind of pops out just a tad. You'll see right there. And get your nail right in there. Take off those little tabs. Pop the fin on. Do the same for the other side. And then you have Great Mazinger in flight mode. So we're going to attach the Mazinger Blade here by removing the fist and popping this on, because I want to show you another thing here. If we remove this side, put in another weapon holding hand, you can actually take off the heat sink from the chest and put it right in his hand, sort of like Boomerang, which is called the Great Boomerang. Oh, and there you are, guys. I can't get through a review without breaking something, but here's the little fin. It's not like this guy is an exclusive limited edition or anything, but there, I broke it. Alright, so let's continue on. Unfortunately, that's one of the things you got to deal with when you review toys, is you have to manhandle them and they break. But anyway, moving on along. Not pissed at all or anything, but here is the regular, well, not regular, the Jumbo Machineder Mazinger with the gigantic masturbation hand there. So I'm very, very carefully again going to try and pop this off, but not while it's on the figure. And go screw himself. Take that off, put in the handshake hand here, like that, and pop that back in. Then we're going to pop in Mazinger Z's regular hand here. Alright, and we can do the whole handshake pose. And here you go, you can recreate this handshake moment. Now fortunately I have calmed down just enough to be able to finish this review normally. Overall I love the figure, I love the paint. I really can't say enough about the paint. Die-cast content for a figure this size is actually pretty good. You have the whole upper chest here, you have the entire lower legs, which doesn't sound like a lot, but for something this size it does give it a nice amount of heft. These aren't too terribly difficult to find right now. I'm sure eventually the prices are going to skyrocket, so if you're even remotely into these, you may want to pick one up as soon as possible. Having said that, guys, if you're enjoying the videos, please subscribe, like, share with your friends. If you want to support the channel so I can bring you more stuff, there's like a little link up here, you can do that. And if you have any questions or comments, also leave them right down below. Until next time, bye-bye.